Okay. Well, welcome everybody. And if you're not speaking, we're going to put you on mute. And then when you want to speak, you can raise your hand or take yourself off mute. Anyway, my name is Nanette Kennedy, and I'm with the Humanities team in the Evolution Revolution. And we are reading Friendship with God. And before we start reading, I'm going to let Christine do a Earth Day blessing.
Thank you, Nanette. Happy Earth Day, everyone. We'll be going out this afternoon after club and planting a seed. Okay, this is the prayer of the four directions. Creator, it is I. Thank you for today's sunrise, for the breath and the life within me, and for all your creations. Creator, hear my prayer and honor my prayer. As the day begins with the rising sun, I ask Spirit Keeper of the East, Brother Eagle, be with me. Fly high as you carry my prayers to the Creator. May I have eyes as sharp as yours, so I am able to see truth and hope on the path I have chosen. Guide my step and give me courage to walk the circle of my life with honesty and dignity. Spirit Keeper of the South, Wolf, be with me. Help me to remember to love and feel compassion for all mankind. Help me walk my path with joy and love for myself, for others, for the four-leggeds, the winged ones, the plants, and all creation upon Mother Earth. Show me it is right for me to make decisions with my heart, even if at times my heart becomes hurt. Help me to grow and nurture my self-worth in all ways. Spirit Keeper of the West, Brown Bear, be with me. Bring healing to the people I love and to myself. Bring into balance the physical, mental, and spiritual so I am able to know my place on this earth, in life and in death. Heal my body, heal my mind, and bring light, joy, and awareness to my spirit. Spirit Keeper of the North, White Buffalo, be with me. As each day passes, help me surrender with grace the things of my youth. Help me to listen to the quiet and find serenity and comfort in the silences as they become longer. Give me wisdom so I am able to make wise choices in all things which are put in front of me. And when time for any change of worlds has come, let me go peacefully without regrets for the things I have neglected to do as I walked along my path. Mother Earth, thank you for your beauty and for all you have given me. Remind me never to take from you more than I need, and remind me to always give back more than I take. That was written by Vera Derry.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Yep. Very.
Christine?
Pardon me?
Who was it written by?
Vera Derry, Veraddery.
Veraddery. Wow.
Yep, I've never heard the whole thing. Yeah, it was beautiful. I've heard the last couple lines before as a quote, but I have not heard the whole thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Vera Derry, Veraddery. I'm sorry, I put myself on.
Okay. Linda, what page are we on?
Yeah. We are on the beginning of chapter 8, which may be a page 157 or 159. Let me look in my heart.
I got it. And hello, Angela.
Right, 159.
Okay. Yep, welcome. All right, Linda, whenever you want to start, go for it.
Okay. Friendship with God and Uncommon Dialogue, Chapter 8. This is Neil speaking. So, to review, the first 3 steps to God are know God, trust God, love God. Right. Everybody loves God. The last one should be easy. If it's so easy, why are so many of you having such a hard time doing it? Because we don't know what it looks like to love you? And that's because you don't know what it looks like to love easy on a planet where loving someone without need is unheard of, where loving another unconditionally is rarely practiced, and where loving everyone without limitation is actually thought of as wrong. Human beings have created a lifestyle in which feeling oneness with everyone all of the time does get them in trouble. And you've just named the chief causes of all of this trouble. You might call these the 3 great love enders: neediness, expectation, and jealousy. You cannot truly love another when any of these 3 is present. And you certainly can't love a God who indulges in any of these, much less all of them. Yet that is exactly the kind of God you believe in. And since you've declared it to be good enough for your God, you've allowed it to be good enough for yourselves as well. So that is the environment within which you seek to create and sustain your love for each other. You've been taught of a God who is jealous, who has enormous expectations, and who is so needy that if his love for you is unrequited, he'll punish you with everlasting damnation. These teachings are now a part of your cultural story. They are so embedded in your psyche that it will be a major undertaking. And yet, until you do, you cannot ever hope to love truly each other, much less me. What can we do? Well, in order to solve a problem, you first have to understand it. Let's take a look at this particular problem, one element at a time. Neediness is the most potent love killer there ever was. Most members of your species do not know the difference between love and need, and so they have confused the two and continue to do so daily. Need is when you imagine that there is something outside of yourself that you do not now have and that you require in order to be happy. Because you believe that you need this, you will do almost anything to get it. You will acquire what you think you require. Most people acquire what they think they require by trading. They trade what they already have for what they seek to have. It is the process they call love. Now, we've had this discussion before. Indeed, we have. But this time, let's take it one step further, because it is important to understand how you came to this idea about love. You imagine that this is the way to show your love for each other, because you have been taught that this is the way God shows his love for you. God has worked out a trade deal. If you love me, I'll let you into heaven. If you don't love me, I won't. Someone has told you that this is the way God is, and so this is the way you have become. It's as you've said, what's good enough for God ought to be good enough for me. Precisely. Thus, you have created your human methodology, a story that you live out every day. Love is conditional. Yet that is not the truth, but a myth. It is a part of your cultural story, but it is not a part of God's reality. In reality, God needs nothing, and thus requires nothing from you. How can God need anything? God is the all in all, the everything, the unmoved mover, the source of anything that you could imagine that God needs. Understanding that I have everything, am everything, and require nothing is a part of knowing me. Step one in having a friendship with God. Yes, once you truly know me, you begin to disassemble your myth about me. You change your mind about who I am and how I am. And once you change your mind about how I am, you begin to change. That is the start of the transformation. That is what a friendship with God does. It transforms you. I'm so excited about this. No one has ever explained things to me this simply, this clearly. Then listen to this carefully, for here comes the greatest clarity of all. You are made in the image and likeness of God. Now this you have always understood, for this too you have been taught. Yet you are mistaken about what my image and my likeness is. Thus, you have been mistaken about what your image and likeness can be. You imagine that I am a God who has needs. Among them, the need to have you love me. Now, some of your churches have sought to describe this as not having a need for your love, but merely a desire for it. It is simply, they say, my desire that you love me, but I will never force you to. Yet is a desire not a need if I am willing to torture you for all of eternity if I don't get it? What kind of a desire is that? And so, being made in my image and likeness, you have called it normal to experience the same kind of desire. Thus, you have created your factual attractions, your fatal attractions. But now I am telling you that I have no needs. All that I am within myself
Can anybody else hear Linda?
is all that I require. Because you do not seek it. You seek to experience the grandest part of yourself outside of yourself. You seek to experience who you are through others, rather than allowing others to experience who they are through you. Oh, what did you say? Would you say that again? Saying about me and change what they were telling me about myself. I was literally experiencing myself through others, just as you've said. Most human beings do that. Yet when you reach mastery, you will allow others to experience who they are through you. This is how you will know a master when you see one. The master is one who sees you. The master gives you back to yourself, for the master recognizes you. That is, the master recognizes you, knows you again, and thus do you once again recognize yourself. You know yourself again as who you really are. Then you pass this on to others. You have become the master and no longer seek to know yourself through others, but choose to have others know themselves through you. Thus, have I said, a true master is not the one with the most students, but one who creates the most masters. How can I experience the truth of this? How can I stop needing affirmation from without and find all that I require to be happy within? Go within. To find what is within, go within. If you do not go within, you go without. You've said that before, too. Indeed, all of these things I have shared with you before. All of this wisdom has been given to you. Do you imagine that I would make you wait to hear the greatest truths? Why would I keep these things a secret? Not only have you heard these things before in your precious conversations with God, you've heard them elsewhere as well. There is no revelation here, except the revelation that all has already been revealed. Even you have been revealed to yourself, and that revelation, which has given you, lies deep within your soul. Once you get a glimpse of that, once you have even a momentary experience of it, you will be very clear that nothing outside of yourself can compare with what is within you, that no feeling you get from any exterior stimulation or source is anything like the total bliss of communion within. I tell you again, it is within that your bliss will be found. There you will remember once again who you are, and there will you experience once more that you have no need of anything exterior to yourself. There you will see the image of you in the likeness of me, and on that day will your need for anything else end, and will you be able at last to truly love and to love truly. You speak with such force and grace and eloquence. I am so often having my breath taken away by you. But tell me again how I go within. How can I know myself as he who needs nothing exterior to himself? Simply be quiet. Be with yourself in the stillness. Do this often. Do this daily, even hourly in small doses if you can. Just stop. Stop all of your doingness. Stop all of your thinking. Just be for a while. Even for only a moment. It can change everything. Take an hour every day at dawn and give it to yourself. Meet yourself there in the holy moment. And then go about your day. You'll be a different person. You're talking about meditation. Don't get caught up in the labels or ways of doing things. That is what religion has done. That is what dogma seeks to do. Do not create a label or a set of rules around this. What you call meditation is nothing more than being with yourself, and thus, ultimately, being yourself. You can do this in many ways. For some of you, it may look like what you call meditation, that is, sitting quietly. For others, it may look like walking alone in nature. Scrubbing a stone floor with a brush on hands and knees can be a meditation, as many a monk has discovered. Others, outsiders, come to a monastery and see this work and think, oh, what a hard life. Yet the monk is deeply happy, deeply at peace. He is not looking to get out of scrubbing floors. He's looking for another floor to scrub. Just give me another floor. Give me another brush. Give me another hour on my hands and knees, my nose 6 inches from the cobblestones. I'll give you the cleanest floor you've ever seen. And my soul will be cleansed in the process. Cleansed of any thought that happiness requires something outside of itself. Form of meditation. Okay. Let's say that I've discovered that I don't need anything from anyone else to be truly happy. Wouldn't this make me antisocial? On the contrary, it will make you more social than ever. For now you clearly see that you have nothing to lose. Nothing inhibits your loving each other more than the thought that you have something to lose. It is for this same reason that you have found it difficult and frightening to love me. You have been told that if you do not love me in the right way, at the right time, for the right reasons, I will become angry. For I am a jealous God, you have been told, and I will not accept your love in any way, shape, or form other than in the way in which I demand it. Nothing could be further from the truth, yet the truth has never been further from your awareness. I need nothing from you, and therefore seek, want, and demand nothing of you. My love for you is without condition and without limitation. You will return to heaven whether you have loved me in the right way or not. There is no way for you not to return to heaven because there is no place else to go. This is your eternal life assured. Thus is your eternal life assured and your eternal reward guaranteed. Now, you said in conversations with God that even making love, experiencing sexual ecstasy, can be a form of meditation. That is correct. But that is not being with the self. That feels like being with another. Well, then you do not know what it is truly like to be truly in love. For when you are truly in love, there is only one of you in the room. What starts out as being with another becomes the experience of being one, of being with the self. Indeed, that is the whole purpose of sexual expression and of every form of love. Do you have an answer for everything? I should hope so. So what about other two love enders, expectation and jealousy? Even if you manage to eliminate need from your relationship with each other and with me, you may still have to struggle with expectation. This is a state in which you have an idea that someone else in your life is to perform in a particular way, is going to show up as who you think they are or who you think they should be. Like need, expectation is deadly. Expectation reduces freedom, and freedom is the essence of love. When you love someone, you grant them total freedom to be who they are, for this is the greatest gift you could give them, and love always gives the greatest gift. It is the gift that I give you, yet you cannot imagine I am giving it to you, because you cannot imagine a love so great. So you have decided that I must have given you the freedom to do not only the things that I want you to do only the things that I want you to do. Yes, your religions say that I give you the freedom to do anything, to make any choice you wish. Yet I ask you again, if I torture you endlessly and damn you eternally for making a choice I did not want you to make, have I made you free? No. I have made you able. You are able to make whatever choice you wish, but you are not free to. Not if you care about the outcome. And of course, all of you do. So this is how you've got it constructed. If I'm to grant you your reward in heaven, I expect you to do things my way. And this you call God's love. Then you hold each other in the same place of expectation, and you call this love. Yet it is not love in either case, for love expects nothing save what freedom provides, and freedom knows nothing of expectation. When you do not require a person to show up as you imagine you need them to be, then you can drop expectation. Expectation goes out the window. Then you love them exactly as they are. Yet this can only happen when you love yourself exactly as you are. And that can only happen when you love me exactly as I am. In order to do that, you must know me as I am, not as you have imagined me to be. That is why the first step in having a friendship with God is to know God. The second step is to trust the God that you know. And the third step is to love the God that you know and trust. You do that by creating God as someone you know and trust. Can you love God unconditionally? That is the big question. All of this time, you may have thought that the question was, can God love you unconditionally? But the big question is, can you love God unconditionally? Because you can only receive me, my love, in the way you give me yours. Oh my, that's an enormous statement. I'm going to ask you to repeat it. I can't let that one just slip. You can only receive God's love in the way that you give God yours. I suppose that's true of human relationships as well. Of course. You can only receive another's love in the way that you give them yours. They can love you their way as long as they want. You can only receive it your way. You cannot experience what you do not allow others to experience. And that brings us to the last element in this answer, jealousy. Out of your decision to love God jealously, you have created the myth of a God who loves jealously. Wait a minute. You're saying we're jealous of you? Well, where do you think the idea of a jealous God came from? You have tried as hard as you can to opt out my love. You have tried to be the sole owner. You have laid claim to me and have done so viciously. You have declared that I love you and only you, that you are chosen people, that you are the nation under God, that you are the one true church. And you are very jealous of this standing that you have bestowed upon yourself. If someone claims that God loves all people equally, accepts all faiths, embraces every nation, you call that blasphemy. You say it is a blasphemy for God to love in any way other than the way you say God loves. George Bernard Shaw said that all great truths begin as blasphemies. And he was right. This jealousy, yet this is the way that you have perceived my love, because this is the way you have loved me. This is also the way you have loved each other, and it is killing you. I mean that literally. You have been known to kill each other or yourselves because of your jealousies. If you love another person, you tell them that they must love you and only you. If you love another person, if they love another person, you become jealous. And this is not where it begins and ends. For you are not only jealous of other people, you are jealous of jobs, of hobbies, of children, of anything that takes the focus of your loved one away from you. Some of you are jealous of a dog or a game of golf. Jealousy takes many forms. It has many faces. Not a one of them is beautiful. I know. Once in a moment when I was having jealous feelings about a woman named Dawn with whom I was deeply in love, I was expressing that to her, and she said to me very quietly, "Neil, this is not a very attractive part of you." I never forgot that. It was stated so simply, without emotion. It's just a matter of fact. There was argument about what I had just said and no lengthy discussion about what she just said. She just put that thought out into the room. It was shattering. Dawn gave grief. Yes, she did. Still, jealousy has been hard for me to get over. Just when I think I'm rid of it at last, here it comes more. It's like it's in hiding and I don't even know it's there. In fact, I swear that it's not there. And then boom, there it is. I think I experience less of it now, but if I said that I don't ever feel any, I'd be lying. You're working on it, though. That's enough. You're recognizing it for what it is, and that's good. But how can I get rid of it? I know some people who actually have gotten rid of it completely. How do they do that? I want to do that. You mean you're jealous of people with no jealousy? That's pretty funny. Cute. You're cute. You know that? Of course I do. What do you think keeps me going? Okay, so what's the answer? Get rid of the idea that happiness depends on anything outside of yourself, and you will get rid of jealousy. Get rid of your thought that love is about what you get in trade for what you give, and you will get rid of jealousy. Get rid of your claim on any other person's time or energy or resources or love, and you will get rid of jealousy. Yes, but how do I do that? Live your life for a new reason. Understand that its purpose has nothing to do with what you get out of it, and everything to do with what you put into it. This is also true of relationships. The purpose of life is to create yourself anew in the new grandest version of the greatest vision you ever held about who you are. It is to announce and become, express and fulfill, experience and know your true self. This requires nothing of the other people in your life or any other person in particular. This is why you can love others without requiring anything of them. The idea of being jealous of the time that you choose that those you love spend playing golf or working at the office or in the arms of another is an idea that can only occur to you if you imagine that your own happiness is comprised when the one that you love is happy. Or that your happiness depends on your loved one always being with you, rather than being with someone else or doing something else. Exactly. Okay, but hold on a minute here. Do you mean that we shouldn't even be jealous when our loved one is in the arms of another? You mean that infidelity is okay? There is no such thing as okay and not okay. These are measures that you're making up. You're creating them and changing them as you go along. Well, there are those who say that this is the very problem with society today, that we're being spiritually and socially irresponsible, that we're changing our values in the moment to suit our purposes. Well, of course you are. That's the way life is. If you did not do that, life would not proceed. You would never make any progress at all. Do you truly want to hold on to your old values forever? Well, some people do. Well, they want to hang women in the town square, calling them witches, just as just as you did just a few generations ago. They want their church to send soldiers out on crusades, killing people by the thousands for not confessing the one true faith. But you're using historical examples of human behaviors that arose out of misplaced values, not old values. We've risen above those behaviors. Have you? Have you looked at the world today? Yet that is another subject altogether. Let's stick to this one. Changing values are the sign of a maturing society. You are growing into a larger version of yourself. You are changing your values all the time as you gather new information, as you bring in new experiences, as you consider new ideas and discover new ways of looking at things, and as you redefine who you are. This is a sign of growth, not out of irresponsibility. All right, let me get this straight. It's a sign of growth to be okay with our loved one hanging out in the arms of another. It is a sign of growth not to have your peace taken away from you by that. Not to disrupt your life because of that. Not to end your life because of that. Not to kill another because of that. All of these things humans have done. Even now, some of you are killing others because of that. And many of you are killing your love because of that. Well, I don't agree with the killing, of course, but how can it not kill your love for someone when they are loving another at the same time that they say that they are loving you? Because they love another does not mean that they do not love you. Must they love you only in order for their love to be true? Is that how you have to have it? Yes, doggone it. That's what many people would say. Yes, doggone it. No wonder you have such trouble accepting a God who loves everyone equally. Well, we're not gods. Most people need some level of emotional security. And without it, without a mate or a partner providing it, love can just die, whether you want it to or not. Okay, hang on. I just have to mute. I have to cough. Hang on.
This is really amazing.
What? What did I do? Not unmute myself?
No. What you're reading, I mean, is quite remarkable.
And
Yeah?
you were on mute, Linda.
Was I?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go back and pick where I was. Yeah. Okay. So let me just do the transition into it. Well, we are not gods. Most people need some level of emotional security. And without it, without a mate or a partner providing it, love can just die, whether you want it to or not. No, it is not that love dies. It is the need. You decide that you do not need that person anymore. In fact, you don't want to need that person because it hurts too much. So you make a decision. I don't need to love you anymore. Go and love whomever you wish. I'm out of here. That's what happens. You kill the need. You do not kill the love. Indeed, some of you carry the love forever. Friends say that you are still carrying a torch, and you are. It is the light of your love, the flame of your passion, still burning inside of you, shining so brightly that others can see it. But this is not bad. This is as it should be, given who and what you say you are, and what you declare that you choose to be. You're supposed to never be able to fall in love with anyone else because you're carrying a torch for someone? Why do you have to let your love for that one person go in order to love another? Can you not love more than one person at a time? Well, many cannot, not in that way. You mean sexually. I mean romantically. I mean as a life partner. Some people need a life partner. Most people do. The difficulty is that most people confuse love with need. They think that the two words and the two experiences are interchangeable. They are not. Loving someone has nothing to do with needing them. You can love someone and need them at the same time, but you can't love them because you need them. If you love them because you need them, you have not loved them at all, but nearly what it is that they have given you. When you love another for who they are, whether they give you what you need or not, then you truly love them. When there is nothing that you do need, then you truly can love them. Remember, love is without condition, without limitation, and without need. This is how I love you. Yet this is a love that you cannot imagine receiving, because it is a love that you cannot imagine expressing. And that is the sadness of all the world. Now, given that you say you wish to become highly evolved beings, infidelity, as you call it, is not okay. That is because it will not work. It will not get you where you say you want to go. And that is because infidelity means not being true. And somewhere deep inside your soul, you know and understand that highly evolved beings live and breathe and have their being in truth, first, last, and always. Truth is not what they speak. Truth is who they are. To be a highly evolved being, you must always be true. First, you must be true to yourself, then to another, then to all others. And if you are not true to yourself, you cannot be true to anyone else. Thus, if you love someone other than the one who wishes you to love them only, then you must say so openly, honestly, directly, clearly, and immediately. And that's supposed to be acceptable? Nobody is required to accept anything. In highly evolved relationships between highly evolved beings, everyone simply lives their truth, and everyone speaks the truth they are living. If something is happening with someone that is simply acknowledged, if something is unacceptable to someone, it is simply spoken. The truth is shared with everyone about everything all the time. This is done as a celebration, not an admission. The truth should be something to celebrate, not to admit. Yet you cannot celebrate a truth of which you have been told to be ashamed. And you have been told to be ashamed of nothing more than you have been told to be ashamed of who and how and when and why you love. You have been told to be ashamed of your desires and your passions and your love of everything from dancing to whipped cream to other people. Most of all, you've been told to be ashamed of your love for your very self. Yet how can you ever love another if you are not allowed to love the one who is supposed to be doing the loving? This is the precise dilemma that you face with God. How can you love me if you cannot be allowed to love the essence of who you are? And how can you see and declare my glory if you cannot see and declare your own? I tell you this again. All true masters have declared their glory, and all have encouraged others to do the same. You begin on the road to your own glory when you begin on the road to your own truth. This path is taken when you declare that henceforth you will tell the truth all the time about everything to everyone, and that you will live your truth. In this commitment, infidelity has no place. Yet telling someone that you love another is not infidelity. It is honesty. And honesty is the highest form of love. Oh my God, there did it again. There's another one for the refrigerator, which is the highest. So I seem to be saying that being in the arms of another is okay as long as you're honest about it. And I'm getting that right? You are reducing it to its most volatile terms. Well, we humans, we like to do that. We like to take great truths and reduce them into simplistic conclusions. Then we have really good arguments about them. I see that. Is that your intention here? Do you wish to have an argument with me? No. I really am trying to get some wisdom here in my own stumbling way. Then it would benefit you to listen to everything I'm saying and to place all of my words into that larger context rather than create a meaning out of only a few of my words. I stand corrected. Do not stand corrected. Stand advised. A correction is for someone who has done something wrong. Advice is for someone who is seeking direction. God gives us direction, not correction. Condemnation. Commendation, not condemnation. Phew. Oh boy. I know. Another bumper sticker. Well, it is. It really is. Make as many bumper stickers as you like. T-shirts too. Get the word out. Stop at nothing. Do a movie. Go on television. Be shameless. While you're at it, be shameless about love. Get the shame out of it and replace it with celebration. You may want to do the same thing about sex. Oh, let's not get into that or we'll never get my question answered. Are you saying that being in the arms of another is okay as long as you're being honest about it? I'm saying that a thing is okay or not okay depending on what you decide about it. I'm saying that people in relationship cannot even know if it is okay with them if they do not know it is occurring. I'm saying that what does not work in highly evolved relationships is lying about anything. I'm saying that lying is lying, whether it is by commission or omission. And I'm saying that once the whole truth is told, your decision about whether you can love a person who has loved or is now loving another is ultimately based on what you declare to be your most appropriate and comfortable form of relationship. And that this will be based, in most cases, on what you imagine you need from the other person in order to be happy. I'm saying that if you need nothing, then you can love another unconditionally without any limitations whatsoever. You grant them total freedom. Yes, but then you wouldn't be in a life partnership with them. You wouldn't, unless you would. Mastery is reached when this becomes a decision and a choice based on what is true for you, rather than on what someone else has told you ought to be true, or on what your society has established as its current convention around life partnerships, or on what you feel others may think of you. Masters give themselves the freedom to make any choice they wish and give those they love the same freedom. Freedom is the basic concept and construct of life everywhere, because freedom is the basic nature of God. All systems which reduce, restrict, impinge upon, or eliminate freedom in any way are systems which work against life itself. Freedom is not the goal of the human soul, it is the very nature. By nature, the soul is free. Lack of freedom is, therefore, a violation of the very nature of the soul. In truly enlightened societies, freedom is not recognized as a right, but as a fact. It is something that is, rather than something that is given. Freedom is not granted, but rather taken for granted. What is observable in enlightened species, societies, is that all beings are free to love each other and express and demonstrate that love to each other in whatever way is authentic and true and appropriate to the moment. The people who decide what is appropriate to the moment are the people doing the loving. There are no laws of government, social taboos, religious restrictions, psychological barriers, tribal customs, or unspoken rules and regulations regarding who, when, where, and how one may love, and who, when, where, and how one may not. Yet here's the key that makes this work in highly evolved societies. All the parties who are in love must decide what love would do now. One party may not decide to do something because he thinks it's loving, if there is no agreement from the other party or parties. All the parties must also be adult and mature and capable of making decisions for themselves. This eliminates all the questions you just had in your head about child abuse, rape, and other forms of personal violation. What if I'm a third party and I don't think that what two other people have decided is loving is very loving towards me? Then you must tell the other parties how you feel about it, what your truth is. And depending on how they respond to your truth, you can decide what changes, if any, you wish to make in the form of your relationship with them. But what if it's not all that easy? What if I need them? Yeah.
I think we should wind it up here because we haven't had any. I'm on a call. I'll talk to you in a minute. Sorry about that. Because we're going to need to, I think, others can agree or disagree with me. I think we're either going to want to reread this on our own or back up a little bit so that we can have half the time, at least half the time, next time to discuss this, because as Shabana was saying a few minutes ago, this is a really packed chapter. Anybody else?
Yeah, and there's
really
not...
book.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I agree.
Okay. All right. Well, that hour went really fast.
Do we want to pick a place where we want to pick up from? Because there's only a couple of pages left in this chapter.
What about... Let's see.
Can you finish it right now? Do you have time?
I can, but I don't know about the rest of you.
Well, I'd like to get to the end of it if anybody else is all right with that.
I can stay with it.
Okay. I'm good with that. So where were we?
Just stay tuned.
Okay.
Okay. We're at the top of page 184.
Okay.
But what if it's not all that easy? What if I need them? The less you need from someone, the more you can love them. How can you need nothing from someone you love? By loving them not for what they give you, but simply for who they are. But then they could walk all over you. Loving another does not mean that you must stop loving yourself. Granting another full freedom does not mean granting them the right to abuse you, nor does it mean sentencing yourself to a prison of your own devising, in which you live a life you would not choose in order that another may live a life that they do. Yet granting full freedom does not mean placing no limitations on any kind upon another. Wait a minute. How can you stop another from walking all over you if you don't place any limitations on them? You do not place limitations on them. You place limitations on yourself. You limit what you choose to experience, not what another is allowed to experience. This limitation is voluntary, and so, in a very real sense, it's not a limitation at all. It is a declaration of who you are. It is a creation, a definition. No one and nothing is limited in God's kingdom, and no one knows nothing but freedom. And love knows nothing but freedom, nor does the soul, nor does God. These words are all interchangeable. Love, freedom, soul, God. All carry aspects of the other. All are the other. You are free to announce and declare who you are in every moment of now. Indeed, you are doing so without even knowing it. You are not free, however, to declare who someone else is or who they must be. This love would never do, nor would God, who is the essence of love itself. If you wish to announce and declare that you are a person who needs and requires the exclusive love of another in order to be happy, in order to feel comfortable and appropriate and secure, you are free to announce that. You will show it with your actions in any event, and they will be your announcement. If you wish to announce and declare that you are a person who needs and requires the largest portion of time and energy and focus of another in order to be happy, in order to feel comfortable and appropriate and secure, you are free to announce that too. Yet I will tell you this. If you allow your declaration of self to translate into jealousy of another, or of another's friends or job or hobby or outside interests, your jealousy will end your love and may very well end what others love for you. The good news is that defining who you are and who you be does not have to translate into jealousy of another, nor into control over them. It is simply and lovingly states who you are and who you choose life to be for you. Your love for another goes on, even as you lovingly and compassionately work through whatever differences may exist between you, and however you change the nature of your relationship as a result of those differences. You do not have to end a relationship in order to change it. Indeed, you cannot end a relationship, but only alter it. You always have a relationship with everyone. The question is not whether you have a relationship, but what kind of a relationship do you have? Your answer to this question will affect your life forever, and indeed could truly change the world.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, Shabana. I didn't realize there was only a couple pages left, or whoever brought it up. Thank you. And then we can each individually kind of look over the chapter again, and we can just, because there's a lot of things I think a lot of us want to say. What do you guys think?
Thank you, Linda. I saw something you wrote on the chat and then it's gone. We will miss you, Christine. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you for finishing the reading.
Yes,
You're
Linda,
welcome.
thank you. And
You're welcome.
I'll see everybody in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right. You won't be with us. All righty. All right. I'm
All right.
sorry we didn't have some time to chat, but I was so into the reading, I wasn't keeping my eye on the time. Anyway, love you all, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. It was wonderful to hear the whole chapter.
Yes, it was. All right.
Very profound. And
Okay.
it suited me very well just now.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.